91.3 FM WBNY, Buffalo's original alternative since 1982. Brought to you by the Buffalo State Student Activity Fee.
Broadcast is going out. I don't know who's even listening to me.
91.3 FM WBNY. Are you listening?
And now, another WBNY Dead Air Moment. This Dead Air Moment was brought to you by WBNY and the Student Activity Fee here at Buffalo State College.
Hey, you listen to 91.3 WBNY, Buffalo's original alternative since 1982, brought to you by the Buffalo State College Student Activity Fee.
Guess what? It's Christmas time!
It's December!
Woo! So welcome. This is my last radio show here.
Of the year?
For this year. Yeah. So welcome. Happy holidays. And it's a great time to reflect. So I have two guests today. I have a reflection. I have some Christmas happiness that I wrote that I want to share with everybody. But before we get to any of that, thank you. I'd like to thank Jessica, who is on the other side of the glass right now in the control room, who, well, gosh, I had Suzapalooza Spotlight back in 2011 and 12. And the person who brought me on graduated, and I kind of lost my show. And I met Jessica when she did Week of the Warriors.
The first one.
The first one. And we connected and hit it off, like, magically. Like, we even had crystals in our pocket, right?
Yes. It was a 3-hour long radio conversation.
Yeah. And it's been an amazing couple years since we've become friends and stuff. And because of you brought my radio show back, and it's matured a lot since 2011. So I wanted to say thank you. I am thankful for you and our friendship, and that you brought my show back to the air to share a lot of awesome people doing awesome things in our community.
You're so welcome. There was no way I was losing you.
I'm so happy.
You're one of those people that, like, you come in contact and you're like, I'm just going to keep this one.
Yay. You know, like attracts like, right?
Yes.
Wonderful. Can we talk about your thing for a minute, or are we not? Or
no,
do you want to?
Okay.
Jessica is doing a wonderful thing, and actually, you need to tell us about it because it is not my job. I'm just going to let you share with us what this is.
Okay, so I have started a publishing company. It's located at 247 Market Street, Suite 201 in Lockport, New York. It's inside the Art 247 Art Gallery. We actually have underwriting through them. It stemmed from I'm also a grad student now, and this is my first semester. I'm finishing up my first semester. It's been an absolutely amazing semester. And I was in one of my classes, and we were working on problem solving. I'm a creative studies student, so we were working on creatively problem solving things. And one of the problems that I was trying to solve was how I can pay off my student loans creatively without having to work the 9-to-5 job. So after I did not know, picking up this problem, that it was going to lead to weeks upon weeks long with, like, dealing with this one specific problem, and I grew bored with it. So the last day I'm just like, can I just do something else? He identified me as an implementer, and that's like part of foresight. So there's 4 different things, and the implementer is the person that goes. So just from me asking if I can choose a different problem, he knew what kind of person I was. So I chose the other problem. I wanted to go through schools. I've always wanted to go through schools, whether it be bullying programs and pretty much anything. And I wanted to go through schools and pretty much help students to figure out how to create a story, and then I would take care of the publishing for them.
Wow.
And then I decided to try it out with a book that's literally been on my mind for 20 years. I wrote a book when I was in 3rd or 4th grade called Skipping Stones, and my teacher handed us, I think we were just working on, like, creative writing, and she handed everybody a picture, and I picked up this picture, and it was this little boy standing in a creek, and he was picking up a stone, and then she told everybody to just write whatever story came out, and the story that came out was called Skipping Stones. And I wrote that, And then I don't have any idea where that first piece of paper went, and I just thought about, like, I've been thinking about where that piece of paper went and what should I do over the last, 20 years, and so finally I decided I was just going to rewrite it, and I asked my tattooist, actually over here, Dead Man's Hand, he's on Forest Ave, right on the other side of the asylum, and he agreed to be the illustrator, and I realized how easy that was. It literally took me 2 days to actually sit down and write the story that I had in my head, and then he agreed to be the illustrator, so then I'm just like, well, I'm just going to keep going with this.
What a great idea to think of a tattoo artist to be your illustrator. Wow.
I actually thought of it a couple years ago, but I'm just like, nah, he's not going to want to do that. And he was actually in love with the idea. He coincidentally just started doing a lot more illustrations lately.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Synchronicity.
Yes. So I turned it into a business, and it took me about 4 days to get my LLC up and going.
That's insane. It takes months and months, for regular people. You are so not regular, which is good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was in the zone. I came up with the idea during that one class, and I wrote the business plan in my head on the way to pick up my son, and then I sat down and wrote down the business plan. I jammed out 18 pages in an hour. I was in the zone. And then that just turned into so many different things. You can find it at imaginewellc.com. And there's a Facebook, there's a Twitter, so Skipping Stones actually comes out on December 31st at midnight. That one was released. You can buy it actually on the website. And then the next one that I came up with was I needed to find, you can quit activism, but activism can't quit you. So I came up with this whole book series and then
Wait a minute. You can quit activism. Wow, that's good. You're going quickly, and I'm absorbing everything, but I had a pause to absorb that one. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, you know that my field has normally been domestic violence.
Yeah.
But I've started to feel like that one it's not over, but I felt like I had enough that I could put it aside and then do something and work on myself and not be so my whole life revolved around being a victim, and then it revolved around being a survivor, and now I'm just I'm ready to go. So then I came up with this idea for a book series. It's called the Typically Untypical and Extraordinary series. It comes out, there's February and pretty much all the odd months that another book will come out. The first one is called We Heart Nolan, and actually I got the idea from my business teacher when I was doing my associates. Her name is Jennifer D'Alessandro. She actually works at Villa Maria now, and her grandson has had so much medical problems going on, and I've followed him ever since I was first doing my associates, and he's had multiple strokes, so many blood transfusions, a stroke. He's only 5.
My gosh.
Yeah, you can actually search him at weheartnolan.com.
Wow.
But so I came up with this idea that I could do a fundraiser for them, and I would write a book, and then I'll sell the book, and then the profits would split between the company and the family. And she absolutely loved the book, and it took me a half hour. When I'm in the zone, I'm in the zone. So I wrote the story, and she absolutely loved it. And everybody that I've shared it with absolutely they fell in love with it. And I'm like, okay, this is a good idea, and I kept it going. So then we have April is going to be Autism Awareness is on the 2nd. It's worldwide, so that book is Autism Awareness book, and it's going to be written by children that have autism. And then we have our June release, and June release is about Brittany's Law. The book is called Beside Brittany, written by me and illustrated by Judy Elizabeth Wilson. Brittany's Law is a law that establishes a violent offenders registry, and it comes from Brittany and Helen. Brittany was 12 and Helen was her mother. Brittany woke in the night, and there was a violent offender that was actually dating Helen at the time who had attacked them both. Actually, by the end of the story. She woke in the night and he was attacking Helen, and she was killed in the process of trying to protect her mother. So this violent offender registry is similar to a sex offenders registry and would create some kind of list and protocol and everything similar to exactly what you would expect from a sex offender registry, only this would be for violent offenders. This violent offender that was in their house and dating Helen at the time was only released from prison maybe 3 months prior. He was in prison for attacking his own infant. So it's over 70% of all violent offenders will be repeat offenders. It's just, those are the statistics. So I wrote this book, and it's called Beside Brittany, and it comes out June 1st. And there's actually a Beside Brittany convention coming up in June as well. The Beside Brittany convention is taking place at the Radisson Hotel, Rochester, Riverside. This is in Rochester, New York. For those of you from Buffalo, it is definitely worth the trip. It is on June 11th, 2017 from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. And this convention will consist of hearing about Britney's Law. You can purchase the Beside Britney book and also have it signed. You can shop from dozens of Western New York small businesses. There is a 50-50 raffle, a basket raffle, and hear from live speakers as well. Beside Britney is a story to the child's perspective, and it's just a story about Britney's life and the amazing girl that she was. So I wanted to shed some light on that and also bring some awareness to Britney's Law, which came about from her death. She died in 2009 in November, same day as her mother. It's just a really tragic story, and I really hope that everybody listening right now will try to educate themselves and try to save the lives of the people that are going to be affected, because, 1 in 4 women will be affected by violence in their lifetime, and 1 in 5 men will be affected as well. Let's try to bring those numbers down to 0. Britney's Law is a law that has been passed unanimously in the Senate for the last 6 years, and then it stops in the Assembly. Daniel O'Donnell is the assemblyman behind that. So if you want to learn more information about Britney's Law, you can go to imaginewe.com/beside-Britney-convention. This is actually all the information that you would need about the convention, about the Britney's Law, about the book. We have t-shirts, we have everything, so check that out. It brings a lot to domestic violence, so roundabout I fall back into the domestic violence field.
Yeah.
So there has been so much going on, and I originally was going to set it up with 6 books, and that was going to be my goal for 2017, and then that turned into 10, and then now it's 12, so.
Wow. So it's a publishing company,
Yep.
right? And you invite other authors to participate and submit their stories, right?
That's the newest part of it. I just sent out through Facebook, we sent out looking for other authors as well.
I want to play. I wrote a story back in like 2nd grade or something called The Lonely Roller Skate or something like that.
It's going to be just like skipping stones. You've been thinking about it for a long time, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. I can still see the drawing that I wrote in my head. I could draw it right now. And after I saw you announce that today, I have a whole set of characters and I have a set of stories. So I'm in. Susie Squiggle.
Oh, no. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So that's awesome. So share how our listeners can find out more information.
You can actually search imaginewellc.com, and then we have a newsletter that's going to start. It'll be monthly, telling you everything that's going on in there. You can sign up for that through the newsletter on the website.
Imagine We. It's so cute. Everything about it is just like so happy and wonderful, and I'm so happy for you. I know it's going to be a huge success.
I'm really hoping.
I know it will.
I came up with the name. I was driving behind a truck, and the name behind that truck, it was, I can't remember what the name was, but I was like so entranced with it, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's a great name. And then I thought of how a child would say imaginary, and it would be imaginewe.
Oh, I get it. It's so cute. It's even more cute now that I know the story.
It's imaginewe.
Aw, I love it. And I just know it's going to be successful. I'm so excited for you.
I'm really excited too. We launch, the company actually launches on January 21st, and then we have a grand opening on the 29th.
Wow. So it's located in the art studio, right?
The business office is located in the art studio, and we are probably going to branch the grand opening to Flight of 5 because it blew up a lot bigger than I originally planned for.
Oh, that's
too.
a good thing. Good.
Vendor fair, book signing, meet and greet.
So come and enjoy and get a book signed, and it's going to be wonderful.
I'm also thinking about pre-releasing We Heart Nolan on that day, too. Normally, it's not going to come out until the first business day of February, but I'm thinking for the special occasion, I'll bring it out on the 29th.
Ooh, and it's only a couple days. Come on. That'll be great. That's wonderful.
I'm really excited.
As am I. I'm so happy I know you.
I'm so happy I know you.
Awesome. Great. Did we cover everything? Website? You said the website and spell it and all that stuff? No, let's do that.
Imagine I did not know this was going to be a spelling bee.
I'm sorry. It's your company.
Yeah, this whole company came together since October 9th, so I've been really busy.
Gosh. Wow.
Okay, so I am AGINE. And then it's one word, comma, LLC. And you can find that on Twitter. We have a Pinterest. We have a Google Plus, a Facebook, Instagram. I haven't really used the Instagram as much, but I was told by Heather Grimmer to get one.
Wow, when you're in the zone? Oh, my gosh. Do you ever sleep?
No.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jessica, and much success, and yay.
Major
yay. Okay, so next, you ready?
How do I follow that up?
So let's make sure we can hear you. My next guest is Mario Rodriguez, and he is co-founder of Forsetti Protection Group and Forsetti Apparel.
Yes.
So they have a clothing line, but most importantly, this is all about some scary stuff. It's becoming it is a reality, and this, you know what? I'm not going to talk. You talk. So thank you for being here today. Let's make sure we can hear you. Come nice and close to the microphone.
Sure. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Beautiful. Good. So tell us, what is Forsetti Protection Group, and how did it come to be?
Sure. Yeah. Forsetti Protection Group is a business that we started to help businesses save money to develop emergency preparedness plans.
Wait, what kind?
Emergency preparedness
Emergency? You slow down.
Sorry.
It's hard to hear. And, I
Sorry,
got
I
old
apologize.
ears, and I need to slow down the processor here.
Yeah, we're an emergency preparedness company here in Buffalo, and our goal is to basically come in and help businesses set themselves up to not only save money, but also save lives and save assets in their business. We do that with coming in different plans. It could be minor, something as small as an evacuation plan, coming in and helping them get an initial review with their insurance companies. Some of these folks haven't reviewed their initial insurance plans that they have established for X amount of years, 5, 10 years, and they could be doing other things to save money.
I think that's something that business owners do not think of. It's like you pay it every whatever, and you never even look at it.
Right. And that's one of the biggest things that we try to come in, first of all, to do. Have them come in and look and review their insurance policies. Some of these plans don't even cover them for certain emergencies.
Such as?
Floods, winter storms now, especially after...
oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, we live in an area where winter storms are pretty prevalent.
Yeah.
So we try to come in and revise that. Some of the plans don't come in for that. Something simple as far as calling National Grid, and coming back and saying, what alternatives do we have for a backup in case there's a whiteout, in case there's an electrical outage. Something simple like that. It doesn't cost anything, and it's probably going to save them money long term. They might have to invest some money in some generators or anything else, but that'll at least set them up for the long-term success. And
Contingency.
It's simple. Correct. So that's what we like to come in and do. We like to come in and start plans, and it's not just scary emergency situations, which we do plan for, but we start small and we escalate to the bigger situations as well, and we focus on those.
So this has enveloped a bit more since you and I talked.
It has drastically changed since you and I talked. When we first initially started the business in January, we were focusing more so on firearms, and which we still do. But now the plans have developed and changed to focus more so on business aspect, allow businesses to come in and, like I said, save money with the developing these plans. Most places are actually offering a 5 to 10% discount now on insurance plans if you have certain policies in place. So we like to come in and
like an
discuss that.
auto policy if you have anti-locks or
Correct.
something like
Correct.
that.
Yeah,
right?
something simple like that. That'll change the difference in your vehicle pricing that you pay on your insurance. Same thing, same concept applies to business insurance.
Okay.
So we come in and try to have those conversations and get them started, and then focus and develop the plans from there.
Okay, so the stuff with the armed protection and all that stuff, now that's still a component of the business, right?
Correct. It is. We still offer classes. We have NRA instructor certified instructors on our staff. We go out and we still run a firearms course.
Well, you're saying still. Our listeners don't know anything.
I'm sorry.
So let's,
since
let's
you and I
visit
had
that.
last talked, yeah. So we offer those options as well. We run the courses for basic pistol permit courses. We offer those classes, and then we escalate from there. And we actually can run. We've incorporated that aspect of the training for firearms into any kind of training for any business as well. where if they have any employees that actually have their pistol permit and they have a carry concealed permit, do they carry at work? Do the businesses know about it? Do they have their statement where they tell the employees not to carry? That's something that they're supposed to require them to either do or acknowledge or sign. If they don't want them carrying on the premises, whatever the case may be. So those are all typical situations that we run into and we try to incorporate into our consultations when we sit down.
Yeah, because I bet you that's something else that businesses don't even think to include, like in their new hire packet or
Correct.
orientation.
Yeah, there's such a focus on IT security, and not to knock IT at all. It's very important. I mean, it really is. But there's so many other components that go into a business and the plans that they have and the security that they have and the measures that they take. And we think for our business, we'd like to come in and at least start that conversation, whether or not they utilize our services. As long as the conversation's starting for us, that's the key and importance for us.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
It is. I'm very lucky and fortunate to have the opportunity to be able to offer our experiences and expertise to the folks in the area. So it's great.
So do you have some kind of a background in, like where do you come from?
Yeah, I had a career in law enforcement. I was a law enforcement officer for 11 years. My partner was in law enforcement for, I forget his record now, apologize, 20 years, I think it was, 18 years, something like that. And so combined, we have over 30 years of experience between the two of us. And we utilize those training assets and skills, and then we developed them into other programs and certifications that we went through and had, and developed the business plan that we have now.
Okay, so now I'm going to put you on the spot. So
Okay.
you have all this law enforcement experience. How does the insurance component come in?
Yeah. We don't really work with the insurance groups themselves. We have a couple folks that we're working with right now for the January event that we'll talk about in a second. But the folks that we talk to in the insurance industry have said that they would offer business reductions of up to 5 to 10% or more, depending on the plans that these folks put in place. And that's a big selling point for us, and it's a big opportunity to get the conversation started. So for us,
Starting to understand.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So for us, it's an opportunity to come in and get the folks to kind of open the door to say, well, 5 to 10% cost savings on a business plan can be probably close to anywhere from $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 or upwards.
Oh yeah.
Which is a huge chunk of savings.
Right.
And not only that, but they can utilize that money to other things. And on top of it, you're saving lives, you're saving your business and your assets, and you're giving back to your community, which is really essential. I mean, the fact that a business can say that they are in the community, making sure their employees are safe, making sure their customers are safe, that's the kind of business that I think folks want to see and be able to do, especially nowadays with the dynamics of the way the country is. So, well,
Right,
the country,
yeah.
the world, really. So,
Right.
Yeah.
So I wonder then if there would ever be like some kind of a, like how AAA has their sticker.
yeah.
Like there should be some sticker says, it's the seal of safety.
Well, that's a goal that we're trying to pursue. There's a couple places that I forget the name of the school. I have it written down in my office, but one of the schools that's a local in New York here is working to try to have all their businesses in that area certified with what they call BCON or Stop the Bleed, which is a first aid trauma. And it goes further than the initial first aid that most folks will get. Well, not even some don't even get
Right.
that.
Yeah.
But it goes first. The reality is that, and the research behind it, is that the initial person giving any kind of first aid or trauma is not a first responder in any kind of trauma situation, active shooter situation, or workplace violence situation. It's actually someone in the office or an employee. So the thought behind that is to be able to provide those folks with the initial training of trauma, be able to apply a tourniquet, be able to apply any kind of trauma safety and first aid to any kind of gunshot wounds, stab wounds, things of that nature, so that they can save lives. By being able to, if I remember correctly, the 2 to 3 minute range, if you can be able to stop the bleed in that first 2 to 3 minutes after an incident occurs, you have a better chance of saving that person's life. I don't remember the percentages off the top of my head, but that's the point of those. First responders in any kind of emergency situation, they actually don't get to a scene or are able to get to that first person for over 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And not only that, but when they actually do get to the scene, their initial response is not first aid. their initial response is to make sure that the scene is safe and get the emergency situation under control, whether that's active shooter again, workplace situation, any kind of domestic violence in a workplace environment. Those situations they try to control first. Then the afterthought is the trauma and injuries. So
Yeah. Wow. I bet you guys didn't think of any of that stuff, did you? 'Cause I sure didn't. These are things that in day-to-day life you just don't think about.
Right.
And so that's wonderful that you're bringing this to the forefront and sharing information to raise awareness for public safety. Really.
Right. Yeah, our goal is to focus more. We have, and I'll speak about it now. It's an active shooter seminar that we're running in January of 2017, specifically January 25th. It's going to be here at the Hyatt, at the Hyatt Regency, downtown Buffalo. And our goal is to, although it says active shooter compliance, it's going to be a template that you can use for workplace situations. We want to be able to take that template and utilize it for businesses, whether they're big or small. Some businesses only have 5 or 10 employees. And those businesses we find have a large oversight into their security preparedness. Again, their main focus will strictly be on IT, which is a big situation that we'd like to safeguard them from.
When is this event?
January 25th, 2017.
What day of the week is that? I'm sorry.
It's a Wednesday.
A Wednesday.
Yeah,
Okay. From what
Wednesday.
time? What is it?
We actually start with the event at 8:30 is registration, 9 a.m. start time. We conclude. We have a full day prepared. We actually have breakfast included in your registration.
Ooh,
Coffee,
I like food.
beverages. Yeah, complimentary lunch is included, and then also we have a networking event, a cocktail event right at the Hyatt after the event is done, which allows us for an informal Q&A, kind of unwind with some adult beverages. And so we want to be able to have businesses come in, get the conversation started, learn some things. We actually have a 50-question security questionnaire that we give them to start the day.
That's outstanding.
And it really it's kind of a checklist, an eye-opener to say, hey, we don't have that. Nope, don't have that. Or we do have that. And we have these policies in place. Or we have, our HR persons in our business and actually has an emergency team together. We know who the contact is. We've run situations or training. And so we're hoping that we can get some businesses to come and attend and really get that conversation going in 2017 for them.
Yeah. Well, this is a great way to get it out there. So it's.
Appreciate
I'm
it.
sorry, I didn't write it down. Now tell
That's
us.
okay.
Tell us one more time when it is.
No problem. Yeah, it's January 25th. It's a Wednesday. It's January 25th, 2017. It's at the Hyatt Regency of Buffalo. And for information, you can go to our Facebook, which is Forseti Protection Group, FORSETI Protection Group.
Great.
Or you can go to our tickets are on sale through Eventbrite. So it's forsetiprotectiongroup.eventbrite.com.
Okay. And what's the ticket price?
I believe, I'd have to check with our marketing director, but I believe the pre-sale is still going, which is the early bird special, $375 a ticket. Again, that includes all breakfast, lunch, beverages. We have a complimentary breakfast that's included, lunch, and then a networking event afterwards is also included.
Okay. If more than one employee signs up, do they get a discount?
Yes, we do. We have discounts available for more than one employee, and
Great.
actually we have sponsorship levels available, which includes our services as well. We have a contract with some of the sponsorship levels that we give you a 3-month contract with our company. We come in and we'll actually get you prepared and get you set up with the initial assessment. We'll get a vulnerability and risk assessment completed, and then we'll actually make our recommendations for how you can change small things, large things, as simple as adding a fire extinguisher in a certain area of the building, making your evacuation plans removable from the wall. Simple things like that. Yeah, there's so many little nuances that we can go over.
Full of little light bulbs going off. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we like to come in and do. Some folks don't think about it, and that's our job, is to think about it, and it's our job to put it in place and implement it. And one of the misconceptions about security is that it's actually going to be a hindrance to the normal day-to-day process. We as humans don't like to be inconvenienced throughout your day to walk through or around
To break a
corner.
routine.
Right, exactly. So you don't want to go and
jeez.
Yeah, that extra door that's locked is going to hinder you for that 10 seconds or 30 seconds. We try to take all of that into consideration and make it more practical. And we come in and make things practical for the changes that are going to be effective, and they're going to save lives and save money, more importantly. So
I love it.
combine those two together, and it's a fantastic opportunity. So
Excellent. All righty. Do we cover everything?
I think so. Yeah. I don't have anything else. I want to hear more from Jessica. Actually, I'll do it off the air, but I want to hear more about the event in January. I want to see if we can do something with the apparel company with you guys and make a donation or something for the shirts. That'd be awesome.
I'm into that.
Yeah. When we're done, we'll sit down and or I'll exchange my information with you before I leave as well.
Okay.
So that'd be great.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mario. We are going to go to a break, and when we come back, I have my Christmas wish for you, and we also will have Cassandra Butler, a wonderful, wonderful human being who I just adore. She is an astrologer, she's a teacher, she's a Reiki master, and a psychic medium. So we will be right back in a flash with Cassandra.
I'm doing Reiki on Wednesday.
Art 247 is an art gallery located at 247 Market Street in Lockport, New York, overlooking the historic Erie Canal. With a brand new owner, it has 2 exhibition galleries, classrooms, and an art gift shop, and nearly 40 resident artists who are masters in many different fine art mediums. Enjoy the art supplies we now have for sale. You can rent your own studio space or just come in and check out what the other artists have going on. We invite you to help bring our mission to ensure that the legacy and current prosperity of the arts communities carry on and spread across the greater Niagara region. Art 247, where art meets history.
In your city, in your town, and in your neighborhood, thousands of girls are becoming rockabilly hellcats. Girls running in packs who learn the naked facts of life too young, just in clothes from cats like us.
Don't tell me you've never rode a hot rod or had a late date in the second balcony.
These girls shop online all hours of the night at catslikeus.com, and they get what they want. T-shirts, tight dresses, handbags, and more. These girls are dressed to kill. Too young to be careful, too tough to be afraid.
I get my kicks at Cats Like Us, City of Tonawanda. catslikeus.com.
This is 91.3 FM WBNY Buffalo.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No, this is Patrick.
Listen online at WBNY.org.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No, this is Patrick.
We are Buffalo's original alternative, WBNY.
Is this the Krusty Krab? No, this is Patrick. I'm not a Krusty Krab.
Patrick, that's the name of the restaurant.
Huh?
Good afternoon. Are you in need of any assistance today, sir?
No.
We are 91.3 FM WBNY. We mind our own business.
I could help you cross the street.
No.
I could help you cross your yard.
No.
We just play great music. We never come to your place and bug you.
Ah!
Please let me in.
No.
Introducing the YMCA. What, you already know the why? Or so you think. Sure, you know the why for a swim, a workout, even a game of hoops. But did you know we're more than that? We're a cause. When you take your jump shot at the Y, someone else is getting job training. Take a cardio class, while kids are in an after-school enrichment program. Practice your downward-facing dog as a teen practices her leadership skills. That's the why. We work with people no matter their age, income, or background and give them the opportunity to learn, grow, and thrive, all with one simple goal in mind, to strengthen our community. And we've got so much more that does just that. So while you might think of the Y as that place for lifting weights, we're also about lifting entire communities. Introducing the Y. We're so much more than a place. We're a cause. Visit ymca.net/more.
May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of changes shift. May your heart always be joyful. May your song always be sung, and may you stay forever young.
The Western New York Peace Center, located at 1272 Delaware Avenue in Buffalo, cordially invites you to become involved in our community by joining in on our many task forces. task forces are an important way of educating our community and elected leaders toward a common goal of peaceful resolution without the need for violence. The Western New York Peace Center creates task forces to advocate for many in our community in the areas of economic justice, environmental justice, Latin American solidarity, peaceful conflict resolution, peace education, prisoners' rights, racial justice, and resisting militarism. For more information, contact the Western New York Peace Center at 332-3904 or email victoryross9, VICTORYROSS, the number 9, at gmail.com. Also, like us on Facebook at WNY Peace Center. The Western New York Peace Center. Activism for a safer world since 1967.
Forever young. May you stay forever young. May you stay forever young.
All right. We're back without our psychic, but she's on her way. I know she's on campus, so I told her to call if she needs help to get here, which is okay because that leaves me some time to share my reflections and my Christmas. I always distract her. There's a squirrel. Yay, she's here. Let me just close the door behind you, please. So I saw the Trans-Siberian Orchestra last night. For the first time. I have wanted to see them for years. They were on my bucket list. And so I made it a Christmas present for my sister and I. So we both went, had dinner at 716 and first time there and everything. And the show was awesome. It was great because they had like some pyro stuff going on in there. And it was really neat. And we had really great seats. But I could not follow it. It's like they do a whole Christmas story, which is great. I got that. But then like they did like the scenery was like a gate and a tiger, and I was lost. I was so lost. And then later they came back to Christmas again.
Yep.
So it's like your Christmas story, and then tiger, and then a dragon, and then a choo-choo train, and then I don't know. I couldn't follow it, but the music was great. The guys were hot. It was a good show.
I went to it last year. I had the same problem.
Oh, good. I'm glad it wasn't just me. Wonderful. So great. I would like to share my Christmas wish. And I know we have some new listeners, so I would like to say thank you for tuning in. Actually, thank you for all of your listenership and friendship since 2012. And I'm very grateful to have so many new wonderful friends and listeners. And there's a lot of you who don't want to let me know that you're there. And that's okay, too. So here's a couple of thoughts that I just wanted to share. And, of course, they're scattered because that's just how I am. But if you have never suffered, you don't appreciate peace as much. So think about that for a minute. If you've never been defeated, then a victory wouldn't be as sweet. Be thankful that the bad wishes that you wished to those who've wronged you didn't come true, for their wishes being boomeranged back to you. The point there, guys, is don't send out bad juju. Don't wish somebody to crash and burn because it's going to come right back and bite you in the hiney hind. If somebody crosses you, wish them the best because it's their path. It's not yours. If somebody hurts you, it's not about you. It's about somebody else being hurt. And remember, hurt people hurt people. It's how it goes. So they need to find their own way. So whether you verbalize it or not, at least send the intention of wishing somebody well. Because we're not born on this earth to hurt people. Love is always the answer. And there's just no two ways about that. The answer is always love. Know your truth and stand proudly on it. It's yours. I love that. It's yours. You know your own truth. So stand proud on it. Choose what to say with intention. Don't just ramble. Look back and realize that it's there for a reason. Ooh, that's deep. And don't waste time worrying about the future, for it isn't here. And it's okay not to know. It's okay not to know everything. It's not your job. Every today is your yesterday's all added up. Be in competition with only yourself. My wish to you today and every day is peace in your heart, kindness through your soul, and calm in your gait. Stretch, reaching high to the stars. Breathe deep and fill up with wonderful love and light. And smile, because it's a light of joy. And you matter. You are important, and you impact many. You are never alone. And let me tell you, you are loved. Even if you don't think you are, you are. You are here now, and that is why it's called a present. So Merry Christmas, and thank you for being here. With no further ado, I'd like to introduce my very good friend, Cassandra Butler.
Hello. I want one of those. That's so awesome.
Yes.
Hi,
Hello. Thank you so much for
Susie.
being here.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. I flew in as fast as I could make it, so I was like 3 minutes late.
But we were perfectly ready for you.
Exactly.
Now, what did I want? I put on the event. What did I want to talk to you about? There were two things. One of them, oh, yeah. Okay, so the two things, of course, we can always expand, but December, the energy of December. And as far as astrology goes,
sure.
And we're going to get you some more clients here, because I'd like you to also discuss how people can use astrology in their day-to-day life as a tool.
All right, my dear. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So first of all, I want to comment on your wonderful thoughts for the day. And it's about the being present, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to tie the astrology into that. And that was beautifully well said. Our lives are made up of many moments, many presents. And what astrology, all it is, it's a catalog of how every moment changes throughout our lives. It's almost like the weather outside, but except it involves a lot more than rain and sunshine. There's differing points, like there's a planet. Well, first of all, I'll go back up a little bit. Sometimes when people hear the A word, they turn their eyes up to the sky and go, really?
Yeah,
There's no
the old
way
eye
those
roll.
planets can do anything to us. And my sense is they don't. It's very holographic. It's very holistic. And it's not something that's mechanistic. I like that word. It doesn't make us, Pluto doesn't make us do anything. It happens to be moving in an orbit that suggests certain Plutonian things to all of us. So it's really more of an art than a science. And I've been doing this for, a long, long time, decades, and it never ceases to amaze me. So your direct question about December goes something like this. From approximately November 21st until December 21st, each and every year, give or take, the sun is moving through the happy sign of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is the sign that I call Santa Claus. Right? So everyone's running around from here to throw, and whatever you celebrate. It could be, the Celtic holiday of solstice. It could be Christmas. It could be Hanukkah. People are in a very exaggerated sense of having to do things and having to buy gifts for others, of being generous, of being goodwill towards men and peace on earth. That's the feeling of this tone every single December. So this particular December, we are right now under the new moon energy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So that means that by this evening, the energy shifts and we have a quarter moon. So when we look at astrology, we look at general cycles and then specific cycles. And we basically do those presents moment by moment by moment. And how astrology can help us? My sense is that it's such a validation to know that we're not alone in the universe. And whoever that big guy or big gal is upstairs, they communicate. The energy of the cosmos communicates with astrology. So I always feel like if I'm going through a bad moment, like you were talking that beautiful poem, I can just wait for a couple of days and that will change.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa. If I'm going through a really great time, sometimes that will shift. So a reading or an astrology look-see at your chart will give you some valuable information when it's good to hold up or good to fold up, like using the old Kenny Rogers song, that you'll know if you get a green light or a caution light or a stop light somewhere in your chart. in somewhere in your life. So it's a very valuable piece of information.
So what might be a favorable situation, like if somebody, I know you've been asked this many times, like if somebody wanted to ask for a raise, what would be the indicator? How you would say,
Sure, absolutely. Again, each planet has something of a personality, right? So there's the planet that represents abundance and luck and good fortune. That's called Jupiter. The planet Venus represents love and money. So if you're looking to have a raise at a certain time with your job, you'd see where those two planets are being activated in your chart, along with the moon, which is the mood of the moment. So, I mean, I think that really wise people use astrology to kind of ferret out their timetable. It's not one size fits all either, my dear, because we are all different. We're all like a little snowflake, but the same ingredients, the same different signs of the zodiac are in every one of us. So you're a beautiful, sunshiny Leo. And I've got Leo too, although I wasn't born under the sign of Leo.
See, so everybody's everything.
Yes, everybody is everything. It's all energy.
Isn't that beautiful? I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. So now you're accepting new clients, right?
All the time.
So what are some of the services that you offer?
Sure. I've been doing astrology for a good 3 decades, just plain old astrology. But I also add the psychic intuition and mediumship, which is not the same. Mediumship is the skill to be able to speak with people who are no longer with us, who are spirits, basically. And we're all psychic. So I also use the psychic ability that the astrology has helped me cultivate. And so I sit with someone, I do a reading. That's one service. I do another service because I'm a licensed massage therapist. Yes, I'm very Virgo. I like to work. My work is my joy. So I do this called M&M, Massage and Message. I'm massaging you, and then I get messages that I share with you as well.
Very cool.
Yeah, there's always my website. I mean, you can't miss it.
Please let us know what it is.
Sure, it's just my name, CassandraJoanButler.com.
That's awesome.
And I've got information on there about astrology too, Suzanne. So people can go in and they can plop their birth chart. They can put their sun sign in there, their time of birth, their place of birth, and they'll get a little free reading under the app.
Free. So you go to CassandraJoanButler.com and you plug in your birthday there. And for free, you will get a mini interpretation about you.
Exactly.
And we all want to know more about us, let's be frank, right?
Exactly.
Tell me about me.
What do you think about me? Tell me about me, right?
But that is how we can learn and explore. It's just wonderful. And you also teach tarot.
Yes.
There's
which
very
is,
little that you don't do.
Yeah, which is part of the reading too. And those wonderful cards are just full of inspiration, and there's no magic in the cards per se, but they help trigger the reader's imagination. And someone has once said that the cards are not so much for the reader but for the client, because you can see the evolving story that comes out when you're doing the tarot. So it's a really great tool as well.
It's a fantastic experience. And I have to say, from personal experience, I was the ultimate skeptic, and a few years back, for Love Shouldn't Hurt, I was a vendor at the Holistic Health Expo at Marcy Casino, and my dad had given me birthday money, and this is where I was going to put my skepticism to the test. Cassandra was one of the first people that I went to, and I did the poker face and everything else. I'm like, okay, tell me about me, and she starts telling me all about my mom, and I'm like, oh, really? And it was just like night and day. And then just to further validate, I went to some other people there, and there was a consistency there. And that's when my scales started tipping. But with Cassandra, I felt so attached that she's been my mentor and teacher ever since. So I now
I'm very honored.
Provide
Thank you.
tarot readings and
You're awesome.
developing. I'm working the psychic muscles, and
Absolutely.
it's just amazing. And the level of synchronicity has been undeniable, and it's really cool, and it's kind of like you can't go back. I mean, once you open your eyes, you can't go back, so you better go with all you got.
Amen, sister. Well, I'm a great fan of yours, Suzanne. You know that too.
Thank you, and I
It's
am
mutual.
you.
Yeah.
So if you want to get a reading, now I recommend everybody to go and see Cassandra, and you can also get a gift certificate. So go for yourself and get a gift certificate for somebody that you like, especially a skeptic, because she's going to pick you apart. She knows. She's just good like that. And you know what? You have this ability as well. We are all born with everything on board. Really, right?
Absolutely. I always say we're all psychic because all of us have half a brain. I mean, a right brain. The right brain, right? The intuitive brain that loves music and language and symbolism, that's our intuitive brain. And so we, in communication theory, right? It's about body language. There's words, but there are also body language and the feeling tone. When you learn how to tap into that, you're able to read for other people and help them.
That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
And that is my idea why we are here. We're here to serve. We're here to serve mankind. Oh, and congratulations to
Squirrel.
Standing Rock. A squirrel.
Oh, yes.
Standing Rock.
Yes.
Woo!
Now, and I had actually predicted that, my dear.
Did you?
Yeah, on go to my Facebook page because on November 19th, I wrote an article about Neptune going forward, and the essence of the article went something like this. If you've never heard of Standing Rock, you will after November 19th, because the planet that represents compassion, healing, and moving forward, and also represents water, no kidding, went forward in the sky. So, yay. I'm so thrilled.
And I know that she did because I attended her class. So. But you didn't know. I needed her to tell you.
You can go on Facebook and look up my article on Neptune. Again, all these planets have personalities.
Yeah, it's a fact.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Let's see. Do you have anything for Cassandra? Did you want to ask anything?
I think I met you. I met you 2 years ago when I came in for the
Wild Women.
Yeah, networking for the Wild Women.
Oh, how awesome. Hello,
I brought my
hello.
niece. Hi.
If you whisper your birthday, I can do a quick read for you.
It's okay. February 27th. Do you want the date too?
Of course.
1990.
90, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is wonderful.
I was just thinking that we could, if we ever got to the point where we were starting to do them weekly again, we could have one day out of the month just towards astrology.
Oh, that would be wonderful. I would love that.
People could call in and we could give them their reading.
Absolutely. That was February 19th, my dear?
27th,
okay. Alrighty, so you are a Pisces. What time were you born?
5:25.
In the morning?
Yes.
Okay. You were born under the new moon.
Oh.
What does that mean? That means that you've got this incredible opportunity to go through life integrated with your very intuitive, creative soul, so that you look at the world through Pisces and how can I serve? How can I make it a better place? There's a sense of advocacy and independence about you. You don't like to get off track. You can be very focused and
in the zone.
In the zone, right? And you have a beautiful relationship with what we would call your divinity. I mean, call the God self any way you want, but you tap in very easily. You are very intuitive, but you make things happen. You don't get too scattered. And then in terms of cycles for you, oh my goodness, your ambition is being triggered big time right now.
Yes, it is. I just started a company.
Wow, awesome. The planet that represents ambition and creativity, and it's like the demolition of the old and the beginning of the new. And it's a little scary as well. But don't be, because your Mars, which is your inner male side, everyone has an inner male side, even us girls, is being activated like it hasn't been activated for 268 years. So you're really on task right now, and you're trying to make something very grand happen. And you will, and you're going to get a big push in the middle of January, around January 13th. That's the full moon. So something's going to be launched and released at that time. Make sense?
Yes, it goes everything in with the conversation we were just having.
Oh, really? They call me fly on the wall. This is how incredible this astrology is. It's very poignant.
I love it. I think we
Thank
should
you.
push to bring this back weekly.
Oh, great. I love that. I would so love that. Wonderful. Well, that is all the time that we have for December for 2016 and for Suzapalooza's Spotlight. I thank you so very much for being here. Thank you, Cassandra. Thank you,
pleasure.
Jessica. Thank you to
dear.
Mario and all of the guests and the angels and saints. Everybody who has been a part of my journey. I appreciate sharing the cosmos with you. So happy whatever it is that you celebrate. Always strive to be better today than you were yesterday. Don't compete with anyone but yourself. Thank you. I will see you in the new year.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! That's it. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Hey, local businesses. Did you know that underwriting could get you noticed and recognized from people all throughout the Buffalo area for only a fraction of the cost of what you would pay for commercial radio airtime? 91.3 FM WBNY has been an integral part of the Buffalo community since 1982. Did you know that we're a non-for-profit student-run organization? For us to maintain our daily operations, WBNY counts on the student activity fee here at Buffalo State, as well as contributions from you, the local businesses. For more information, contact the WBNY underwriter at 716-878-3080 or WBNYUWD@gmail.com.